somebody were to ask me what my top 5 EDC knives or everyday carry knives were for under $75 or even $100, this knife would easily make that list. This is the Benchmade 556 mini-Griptilian. And the Griptilian line is a very popular line, and for good reason. They're just some really awesome knives. This particular version of the Griptilian is the mini-Griptilian. And for the mini-Griptilian, I think that the kind of primary use of this is going to be an everyday carry knife. It could function in a tactical role, you know, maybe more in just like emergency self-defense. But it's not what I would call a tactical blade. It's not something you're going to carry, you know, maybe as a soldier or a police officer for defense. So definitely a great EDC knife. It could also be a collectible knife, just something that you don't really carry but you just want in your collection, just because it brings you enjoyment. You just love sitting there, opening it, closing it, actuating that awesome axis lock, and you just enjoy holding it. And you know, that's a totally valid reason for getting this knife as well. So, getting to the review part of this, the blade on here is 154 cm steel, which is a great steel. Love 154 cm. It's a improved 440C. It's the American version of ATS 34, and it's a good all-around steel. A very high quality steel. You know, good corrosion resistance, edge retention. Very comparable to VG10, which Spyderco really likes to work in. So good steel. It is saber ground, meaning that it's flat ground from that mid portion. Now I would have preferred hollow grinding on this. That's kind of my favorite grind for blades. However, this grind is adequate, and they actually do have another version of this mini-Griptilian that has a hole instead of a thumb stud, and it's hollow ground. So I'm kind of looking into that version of it as well, because I kind of would maybe prefer that. But the blade shape on here is excellent. It's has enough belly in there for slicing tasks, so just really good blade shape. Has that kind of swedge, unsharpened of course, on the top there. Basic drop point. Great classic blade shape, and it's very aesthetically pleasing as well. The blade thickness is 1/10 of an inch thick, or 0.1 inches thick, and it's a gradual taper down to a very sharp, fine point, which I really like for a EDC knife because it allows you to do more detailed work as well. Now the thumb studs on here are excellent. They're terraced, very comfortable to use. It's not going to cut up your thumb at all. Easy to get good purchase on, and just, well, of course I screw it up in the review. Easy to just flick right open. And the lock on this knife is the outstanding axis lock, by far my favorite locking mechanism. You know, it will take wear and abuse over time and still lock up tight. And the lockup on this knife is rock solid, both up and down and side to side. And I have used this knife for quite a while now. So, you know, just basic axis lock, easy to actuate and everything else, and just silky smooth. From Benchmade, just incredibly smooth. Now the handle on here is what they call a Valox or Valox handle. Essentially it's a kind of a thermoplastic, a very high quality polymer, very similar to an FRN material or anything like that. So maybe not quite to the level of durability as a G10, but very lightweight and cost effective as well. Very nice. They have this kind of checker pattern cut in there, and that does provide some traction, so that's good. It is full Torx bit construction, so you can take this knife apart and service it yourself, which is good. It has stainless steel liners in there for your torsional strength, and those liners are not skeletonized. So I would have liked to see those liners skeletonized, but you know, even with them not skeletonized, this is still a very lightweight knife. It's 2.6 ounces, so you know, no real complaints on the weight. I just would have liked to see it skeletonized. Would have been just a little bit lighter weight. Okay, the jimping on this knife is really nice. There's a little cut into this plastic, or the polymer here. Then there's what here they call the proud liner, basically meaning that they stuck that liner up just a little bit more and jimped it. And then there's some jimping on the spine there, and also a little bit of that proud liner in the troil there. It's very nice jimping, but it's not great. It does provide traction, and you're not going to slip up on this with a firm grip. You're not going to move around on it. However, they radiused this jimping just a little too much, as you can see there. They rounded it just a little too much, and I would have liked it to be a little bit sharper, because it's not. It could be better. It could be improved upon. And if Benchmade wants to see perfect jimping, look at the Spyderco Delica and other models they have. See how that's much sharper, much more needle-like? It doesn't tear up your thumb, but it gives you really good jimping and really good traction there. But good. Now you have your little lanyard hole there. It's kind of on the order of the size that paracord will fit through there. Just one thickness of paracord. Just big enough to let one strand of paracord through there. So not huge, but probably adequate. I don't really put lanyards on my knives anyway, so I don't really mind that too much. Now your clip on here, from the factory it comes blackened, which is fine, but mine got all scratched up from a lot of use, and it's a durable finish, but it doesn't last forever. So I ended up stripping my clip of all the paint, and I actually like it better this way, because my preferred kind of coloration for a clip is a matte silver. And so this was super easy to do. I just basically scratched the paint off of there. I'll show you in Gene's pocket how deeply this rides in the pocket. So there it is. It's not totally flush, and I'll throw in a SOG knife. This is the SOG Aegis, whatever you want to call it, as kind of a reference knife. There you go. So see how this knife rides super deep. What else can I throw in the pocket to show you? So it's good. It's good. Rides deep. It's not going to come out of there without you wanting it to. Easy to extract, and it's been mounted good enough. And as you can see, that matte silver blends into the pants pretty good. And if you look at this on khakis too, I like it better than the black. I like that. But that's just personal preference. Okay, so good clip on there, very strong and retains well. And also, you don't have any pocket shredding issues with this. It is tip up only, which is preferred by me, and it's right or left hand adjustable, or reversible rather. And with your ambidextrous thumb stud, the axis lock, and that clip, this knife will be totally ambidextrous. So if you're a lefty, this is going to work great for you. So overall, a really nice knife, and it may not look special, but once you get it in your hand and you carry it for a while, it's just very, very well done. So maybe the price on this knife is going to be around the $60 to $70 range, which is a little high. It's not crazy, and it's still somewhat reasonable. It's not to the point where I'd say don't buy one. I definitely recommend getting one. However, I guess it seems a little high because I got this one for around $55 with shipping about a year or two ago. So it's gone up a little, but it's still reasonable enough that I'd definitely recommend picking yourself up one. There are a few different variations of it, and lots of different colors. This is the 2010 product guide. I'll zoom out a little here for you. So here's that version I was telling you about that's hollow ground with the hole. Some people say they stole that from Spyderco, and so I know some people are even boycotting Benchmade because of it. I try not to really get too caught up in the politics. I just, buy what I like, what'll fit my needs, and I don't really worry about it. That's for the companies to sort out themselves. But there you go. There's an olive color, olive sand, orange, yellow, blue, and pink. And there's also a red-handled trainer version. That's kind of cool, especially for the larger version. If somebody's training with that, that's nice. For some reason, I don't know why. I'll point with the knife. They made the sand and the olive drab only combo edge versions, and that's just stupid, I think, because I prefer plain edge, and I think a lot of people do. And if Benchmade would just come out with either of those colors, especially the sand, in plain edge, I think they'd sell a lot of them. But obviously you can get, Tonto versions, blackened blades, lots of different colors. So it's always nice to have options. I think there's even a Cabela special that has a OD green handle with a D2 steel blade. But I think that one's going to be more around 90 bucks. So lots of different versions of this. Some competition for this would be the Spyderco Delica. This is the full flat ground version, but there's also a saber ground version with a black handle, which is even probably a better comparison to this one. Spyderco Delica, if you're looking at the full-size Griptilian, the Endura. These are backlocks. Check out my review on this. There's what else? I don't know. I'll annotate some stuff. I'm not thinking of anything right off the top of my head. Maybe if you want a side lock, the Spyderco Manix 2. This is maybe about 10 bucks more. But it's a little bit larger knife, but side lock, good quality. Check out my review on that. Very nice knife. So there's some good competition, but this is a classic, and you can't really go wrong with a Benchmade Griptilian. So there it is, guys. Kind of a lengthy review, but there's a lot to cover. So see you guys, and have a nice day.